Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. This is the Morris Customs Truck Series here in the SCSRA on iRacing here on Intensity Broadcasting. We're getting ready for 140 laps around this tricky little short track here in Iowa. Currently at the top of the board is Stephen Black making his return to the SCSRA. Devin Buccino sits back in second. Joe Wright in the third spot. Eddie Morris and Brian Canuti round out your top five. Brian Rowe Jr. showing some speed right now in the sixth position. We have 13 drivers currently getting ready to take the green flag as we have about 2.5 minutes left here in practice tonight. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. We see Devin Buccino at the top of the board. Jeffrey Belk tied in second, so those two currently co-leaders of the points. Eddie Morris 9 points back in third. Colin Willems runs in fourth, and David Wright in the fifth spot. Cheeseburger runs back in sixth. Dustin Dean in seventh. Joe Wright, Austin Blaylock, and Brett Merle your top 10. Brian Merle Jr., Edward Manning your 12. Look at the cut line on the right side of the screen. Brett Merle, Brian Merle Jr., and Edward Manning above the cut line. Derek Chaput and Jacob Alberg sitting there below the cut line. We do know that Derek Chaput is actually suspended for this race for an incident that happened on track. So he did have to receive a one-race suspension. So that's going to shake things up coming into the last race of this regular season before we go playoff racing. See Devin Buccino currently second fastest, 16 career SCSRA wins. Two-time champion in the SCSRA, once in Xfinity, once in truck. Making his way around the track. Currently trying to figure out where the extra 10th is that Stephen Black has found out on the racetrack. We see Brian Canuti in this orange Morris Customs machine. Oh, spins out right there behind David Hartney. It's a sharp-looking truck. Colin Willems out on track as well. We see him currently in the 9th position. And a new driver here tonight, the 39 of Dominic Previtt. Another Rochester, New York native. And that Wegmans machine. So with practice just concluding, we're going to get ready for qualifying here. Of course, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. We do appreciate you joining us here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe, and hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Of course, we want to thank our great partners here at Intensity Broadcasting as well, including Race EPI for all your iRacing setups and coaching needs. Visit raceepi.com. IntensityBroadcasting.com for all your Intensity swag, as well as the support Atman Weiss's racing career. We've got some novelty t-shirts there as well, so check that out over at IntensityBroadcasting.com, link down below in the description. For all your iRacing paint needs, check out Morris Customs, the series sponsor. Link down below to his Facebook at Morris Customs. And of course, we want to always mention our great partner over at Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in gaming haptics, the award-winning line of Butt Kicker products that users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. Their patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is the new and upgraded sim racing haptic that reproduces immersive and accurate, powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. And of course, they don't just have gaming haptics, they have great haptics that you can use for watching movies, listening to music. It's all there. You can check out the full line over at Intensity Broadcasting. I'm sorry, at thebuttkicker.com. Looks like my timing decided that it wants to go a little funky here. So let me see if I can get that back. Yep, there we go. See Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, the first driver out on track. Joe Tardif back in the second spot. As we see Cheeseburger make his way through turns 3 and 4. And Jeffrey Belk jumps up to the top of the board. As Cheeseburger goes second. Joe Tardif, last week's winner, is back in the third position. Brian Merle Jr. out on track. Oh, really loose up into the wall. That's going to disallow any time that he had. And here he is returning to the SCSRA, the 18 of Stephen Black. Black catches those bumps through turns 1 and 2, able to keep that truck off the wall though. Down into turns 3 and 4. Let's see what he's able to do here on his first lap. And that is going to be good enough for the fourth position. Down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Coming to take the checkered flag. Across the line, and Stephen Black is going to jump into the top spot with a 23.42 to Jeffrey Belk's 23.44. Kyle Williams just went third fastest on his first lap. See what he can do here on his second lap. It looks like he caught the wall a little bit. That's going to disallow his time. So currently up into the third position as D. Wright comes across the line to take the white flag. His first lap is going to put him up in the 6th. Down to the stripe here on his second lap, and Dave Wright is going to pass Colin Williams, move himself up into the third position. In the chat, we see Stephen Black just typed in "Daddy's back." So let's see if he can hold up his end here and get the win on his return to the SCSRA. We see Eddie Morris sitting at the end of pit road, getting ready to roll off for his qualifying attempt. Looks like nobody else is getting ready to qualify. So right now, a bit of a quiet track as Devin Bucciano rolls off on the pit road, or rolls off of pit road and onto the track for his 2 laps of qualifying. Saw Stephen Black run that high line. We see Devin Bucciano running that low line through turns 1 and 2 on his opening lap. Down across the line, and Devin's going to move up into the 7th spot on his first lap. Joseph Wright also out there making a qualifying lap. Joe just went 4th quickest on his first lap. Butch right there on the yellow line through turns 3 and 4. down across the stripe. Devin jumps up to P4. Knocks Joe Wright back down to 5th as Joe comes across the stripe here on his second lap. He actually goes slower on his second lap. Very consistent though. First lap a 20.63, second lap a 20, I'm sorry. First lap was a 23.63. His second lap was a 23.64. Now we see Eddie Morris out on track. Getting his qualifying attempt underway. Coming down into turns 3 and 4. Coming to take the white flag for his final lap of qualifying. Morris going to go P5, knocking Joe Wright back a spot. Oh, and Morris loops it off of turn number 2. Catches the inside wall. That's going to do it for his qualifying attempt. Just 4 trucks left to qualify. The 40 of Brian Canuti, the 43 of David Hartney, 13 of Brian Merle Jr., and the 39 of Dominic Privet. All left to qualify as we have 2 minutes left here in qualifying. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night for the SCSRA Dev Sports Cards Xfinity Series as they're going to be taking on Bristol Motor Speedway. More short track action here in the SCSRA. And then next week will be the final race of the regular season for both series, as the Truck Series will be taking on Chicagoland and the Xfinity Series takes on Auto Club Speedway. Then the playoffs start. We'll take our top 12 in points, re-rack the points, and get ready for a 5-race shootout for a champion here in the SCSRA Morris Customs Truck Series and the Dev Sports Cards Xfinity Series. Don't forget, Thursday night we've got Thunderstruck. Sunday night we'll be returning with the INSS in the next couple weeks. Monday night Thunderstruck Series. Tuesday night truck doubleheader as the Doghouse Racing League just started their season back up here tonight, as they have a 16-race season. Not going to spoil the that one, but definitely check that one out if you're looking for something to watch. Check out the Doghouse Racing League Truck Series. We have about 30 seconds before we get racing underway here at Iowa Speedway. Iowa's a tricky little track. Let's take a look at the track map itself. You see it is a bit of a D-shaped short oval, just barely under a mile in length. See the track temp here tonight is 79 degrees. The air temperature is 72 degrees. With the being night, expect nice cool conditions. A lot of grip for these drivers here. So we'll be watching for that here tonight. Of course, pit road, as we saw, very difficult to get onto. So watch for that being a trouble spot here tonight, as we have drivers getting ready to go on track as we take a look at our starting grid. And on pole tonight, returning to the SCSRA, the 18 of Stephen Black with a 23.420. Jeff Belk with the 54. He'll be outside of row 1. David Wright, another IDBC driver. He'll be starting from the 3rd position with Devin Butchino in the Neon Machine back in position number 4. Eddie Morris, our league sponsor, will roll off from the 5th position with Joe Wright in the 82 rolling off in 6th. Colin Willems in the 17 rolls off 7th with Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence in the 47 rolling off from the 8th position. And rounding out your top 10, last week's winner, Joe Tardif, and the 40 of Brian Canuti. Back in 11th, the 13 of Brian Merle Jr. with David Hartney to his outside. And then rounding out the field here tonight is the 39 of Dominic Privet. So 140 laps is the race distance here tonight. Just under 140 miles. Lap 55 will be our stage break. As Stephen Black leads the drivers out onto the track. Race car getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn down onto pit road. Oh, we're going to go one more lap, excuse me. Pace car made a liar out of me right there. As these 13 trucks get ready to do battle at Iowa Speedway under the lights here on Intensity Broadcasting. Of course, once the season is over, there will be some recruitment races trying to get more drivers and new drivers into the series. So if you're interested in racing here in the SCSRA, find them on Facebook at SCSRA. Let them know that you're interested in joining next season. Here we go. Pace car takes that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing here at Iowa Speedway. All right, Stephen Black getting out in front of Jeffrey Belk. Belk trying to run that high lane, though. He's going to tuck down, try to get to Stephen Black as they come off of turn number 2. Black's going to have Belk cleared as they go down into turn number 3 for the first time. As they come across the line, Belk's going to be following Black across the line. Then back here, the rest of the field filing in line. Devin Butchino has Joe Wright trying to take a look up to the outside. Kyle Willems and Dave Wright almost make a little bit of contact off of turn number 2. As Joe Wright's trying to take over that third position, he will. Dave Wright still battling to the inside of Kyle Willems as they come off of turn number 4. And out front, Stephen Black leading over Jeffrey Belk, and these two have gotten already out to a 1.3 second lead over the rest of the field. See Cheeseburger and Tardif side by side, Junior and Moody side by side right in front. Here comes Eddie Morris taking a look down underneath Dave Wright, and this is a battle for the 6th position. Butch, no, Colin Willems side by side, battle for 4th. Butch down on the low side, Willems up on the high side with the progressive banking here. Willems is going to have the advantage off the corner. He's going to take that position away, and here comes Dave Wright trying to move the 68 of Devin Butchino. He's going to tuck back in line, and right behind him we see the two Morris Customs machines side by side down the backstretch. Back up front, something that we're not used to saying, but Stephen Black has company as Jeffrey Belk is still right there on the back bumper and not letting up. As these two continue just to pull away from 3rd place Joe Wright. Eddie Morris has cleared his teammate in the 40. Now he's trying to work on Dave Wright as Dave Wright and Devin Butchino are side by side across the line. As we work lap 7 of 140. And Canuti still up on that high side. Again, that high lane, we'll be seeing that have some momentum here tonight. With the progressive banking, that means that the inside of the track, the low side, has less banking than the high side, which has more banking, and that allows that high lane to get the run. So we see Tardif get loose there off of turn number 4, but he's able to hang on to it. You see newcomer Dominic Previtt already working around Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence to move himself up into the 11th position. Eddie Morris trying to work the high side of Devin Butchino. Butch is going to tuck in line in front of his teammate, Brian Merle Jr. So with Tardif and Previtt both in line behind Devin. You've got Neon Racing running 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Brian Canuti and Colin Williams going at it side by side. Canuti, though, you see that truck wiggle just a little bit off the corner, not able to get the power down. Now has Colin tucked back in line. Back up front, Stephen Black now is starting to pull away from Jeffrey Belk, who has a 1 second lead over, or Stephen Black has a 1 second lead over Jeffrey Belk. Belk has about a 1.5 second lead over Joe Wright back in 3rd. And then from Joe Wright to Dave Wright, it is 2.5 seconds. As Colin Williams is trying to join the party here. Neon Racing all running together here as we see Tardif way up the track. Run the high lane through turns 3 and 4. You can do that through turns 3 and 4. It's really difficult to do that through turns 1 and 2 because there's a really big bump up on the high side there that can really unsettle the truck. You see Tardif kind of running the middle lane there. Colin Williams and Brian Canuti still running nose to tail with Dave Wright right in front. And Cheeseburger having some issues. See if we can see, doesn't bring out a caution, but see if we can see what happened to Cheeseburger here. A little bit of a connection issue there, and looks like he's just trying to get off the track. Looks like something may have happened to him that put him off the track. But out in front is still the 18 of Stephen Black. See just how little Black is moving that wheel. Shows you that truck is really on rails right now, really hooked up as he continues to navigate his way around Iowa Speedway. Okay, we saw him run the high line there in qualifying. Now we see him right there on the yellow line. You see the gap behind to the 54 of Jeffrey Belk. And Belk currently falling backwards into the clutches of Joe Wright. What was a 1.5 second lead not that long ago. Now Joe Wright is within a 0.5 second of Jeffrey Belk. Here 4th through 7th, all under a blanket in line. Carmelo Jr. still stocking the 68 of Devin Butchnow, trying to get around his team owner there in that 68 machine. Right now everybody just kind of settling in, running single file. No one really able to get anything happening until these tires wear off just a little bit more. Remember, we have stage break on lap 55. So once we hit lap 30 or 35 or so, we'll really see these tires really starting to give way. These drivers slip sliding around. Michael Cheeseburger, after having that incident, is back out on track with a fresh truck. Couple laps down though, currently 3 laps down to the field. Here comes Colin Williams taking a look down underneath Dave Wright, trying to take over that 4th position. Dave Wright there almost catches the wall off of turn number 4. Able to keep that truck under control as Colin Williams continues to try to stock or get around that 84 machine. As we are about 2 laps away from the halfway point of the stage. Stephen Black out in front by almost 3 seconds over Jeffrey Belk, who runs back in 2nd. And then Joe Wright kind of stalled out at that halfway point, or half-second mark, behind the 54 of Belk. So far, everybody kind of running their own race right here. Thought Dave Wright running a little bit higher lane through turns 3 and 4, trying to keep himself out in front of Colin Williams. And he's actually pulling away from Colin a little bit, and he's starting to gain on his brother Joe. Take a look at the lap times here, and Dave Wright is continuing to run about 0.2 a lap quicker than Joe. Looks like Dave's found something the last few laps. He's actually pulling away from Colin Williams as well. So on lap 28, we're just halfway through the stage. And Stephen Black is continuing to pull away from Jeffrey Bell, because now the lead is 3.4 seconds over 2nd place. Now Colin Williams has Brian Canuti right there on the back bumper, as Williams trying to keep that 40 at bay. Here, just how long these drivers have to wait before they can pick up the throttle. And Dave Wright has caught both Jeffrey Belk and Joe Wright. So the battle for 2nd and 3rd is heating up here. As Dave's right there on the back bumper, gave his brother a little tap there. Let him know that he was there, looks up to the high side as they come off of turn number 4. Dave's going to take that 3rd spot away up on the high side. He's going to clear Joe down the backstretch. Willems also able to clear the 82 of Joe Wright. Now what's D Wright have for Jeffrey Belk here as he takes a look down to the inside. And move David Wright up into the second position. How about that? Now can he run down Stephen Black as the interval between Stephen Black and Dave Wright is now 4.7 seconds, so almost a 5-second gap up to the leader. Jeffrey Belk is looking back underneath, and you see Black still clicking off some great lap times there, currently quicker than the second place driver, David Wright. As we are 20 laps away from the stage break. Brian Canuni now able to get around Jeffrey Belk, so Belk's going to fall back into the 5th spot. Looks like Belk just ran his tires off just a little too quickly. He's paying for it now in the later run of this part of the stage. Brian Canuni taking a look down underneath Colin Willems here off of turn number 4. Not quite close enough to make the move yet. In the chat here, we see Ian Levick says, yeah, do better. Not sure if he's talking to me or the drivers out there. But currently Dave Wright in second place. Colin Willems right behind. Brian Canuni runs back and forth. Stephen Black currently just running away with this one as we are quickly approaching our stage break. Eddie Morris running down Joe Wright and Jeffrey Belk now. Joe continues to try to find his way around this 54 machine. Dave Wright trying to hold off Colin Willems to finish second here in the stage, get himself 9 stage points. Stephen Black out front trying to win the stage and take away that coveted playoff point from the drivers. Of course, being a part-time driver, just coming back for his first race since I think 2 seasons ago, he would not be eligible for the playoffs. Joe Wright has gotten around Jeffrey Belk, and here comes Eddie Morris trying to work around that 54 machine. So the driver that started in second looked like he was going to be able to keep up with Stephen Black. Now Jeffrey Belk finds himself battling for the 7th position. We see the 39 of Previtt, our new driver here, just making his way off of turn number 4. And he's got Stephen Black not too far behind, so he's in jeopardy of going a lap down. And that's not what Cheeseburger wants to see. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence wants to see Previtt stay on the lead lap so he can get one of his 3 laps back. As Dave Wright once again starts to pull away from Colin Willems. Willems is under pressure from the 40 of Brian Canudi. like Willems is able to get the power down so much earlier than Canuti, but Canuti's able to drive in just a little bit deeper. As they come down the backstretch, Canuti pulls right up on the back bumper, but as they go into turns 3 and 4, Willems is able to pull back away down the front stretch. So all the real estate that Canuti makes up in turns 1 and 2, Colin's able to get right back through turns 3 and 4. So both these trucks pretty even on different ends of the track. He was almost able to get down to the inside, but just not close enough to make that move happen. We continue to ride along here with Colin Willems. So it looks like Canuti's starting to find something in the last few laps of the stage, but just not enough time, I don't think, to make it happen. While they're catching back to the 84 of Dave Wright. These three trucks under a blanket as they come across the stripe to start lap 49. As you see the lap truck of Dominic Previtt tucking down to the inside, letting the leaders go right on by. As Willems now takes a look down to the inside of Dave Wright, but just not able to get low enough to get down underneath that 84 machine. The 84 covers the spot. And with 5 laps to go in the stage, Willems is doing everything he can to try to get around that 84 machine. Meanwhile, Stephen Black's lead continues to grow. He is currently 4.5 seconds ahead of David Wright. It looks like Stephen Black is starting to back it down just a little bit. Last time by, Stephen Black ran a 25:03. David Wright ran a 25:04. Colin Willems ran a 25 even. And Canuti also ran a 25:04. So pretty even lap times among our top 4. As we are 2 laps left in the stage. This battle for second place in the stage is heating up between Colin Willems, David Wright, and Brian Canuti. Well, Stephen Black just took the lap 55. That's 1 lap left here in the stage. Unless something detrimental happens to that 18 machine, he's going to win the stage here. So he's now making his way through turns 3 and 4, and off of turn number 4, Stephen Black in his return to the SCSRA will win the stage. David Wright's going to come home in 2nd, Colin Willems 3rd, Brian Canuti in 4th, Eddie Morris 5th, Joe Wright 6th, Joe Tardif in the 7th spot, Devin Butchno in 8th, Jeffrey Belk in 9th, and Brian Merle Jr. rounds out the 10th spot for that final stage point. see if we can get a word. Once Stephen Black comes around and gets his pit stop done, we'll get a word with our stage winner. But dominating fashion for that 18 machine, able to stretch that lead and hold it. As pit stops are about to get underway. While pit stops are underway, we will step away for just a moment. Stephen Black able to beat everybody off the pit road. Let's talk with the winner of our stage. Stephen, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I got you, Josh. What's up, man?
Man, great job in your return back to the SCSRA. Getting the stage win here tonight. We see a couple drivers out in front of you here coming to the green flag for the second part of the race. What are you thinking? Are you able to get around these guys pretty easily, or is clean air kind of your best friend here tonight?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how much things have changed since the last time I raced. So I'm just out here having fun right now. So and it was good to lead and win that stage. But I'm just happy to be back.
Well, glad to have you back. It looked like you might have had a little bit of competition with Jeffrey Belk there. I think he might have run off his tires a little bit trying to keep up with you. So good luck for the rest of the race here. We look forward to talking to you at the end.
Yep. Thanks, Josh.
So that was your stage winner, Stephen Black. As we are getting ready to restack the field, and it looks like a little strategy here. Actually, it looks like Stephen Black may have had some issues there. His pit stop was about a second slower than the two out in front of him. I do apologize. I had to step away for a bottle of water while pit stops were being done. So Dave Wright will be your leader coming to the green flag. Brian Canuti will start from P2. Then we'll find Stephen Black back in third, Colin Willems in fourth, Eddie Morris, Joe Wright in row number 3, Devin Butchino and Jeffrey Belk, row 4, Joe Tardif and Dominic Privet back in row 5. You see Dave Hartney still on pit road. Looks like quite a bit of damage to the right side of that machine. Trying to get as much fixed up as he can. Brian Merle Jr. Looks like Jr. has either dropped out or quit. Not 100% sure what's going on there, but see Tardif coming back down pit road. Excuse me, looks like he's going to come top off here. So Dave Wright's going to choose the high side here on the restart, putting Brian Canuti on the low side. We'll have to watch to see what Stephen Black is able to do here. Being in dirty air for the first time as the pace car takes that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. As they approach the Geico restart zone, green flag is back in the air. Great jump for Dave Wright. He's able to pull out in front of Brian Canuti. Colin Willems able to sneak in there as well. That's going to put Stephen Black back into the 4th position. It's Colin Willems all over the back bumper of Brian Canuti. And here comes Black down on the low side. He's got a head of steam as they come off of turn number 4. And they're side by side for the lead. Brian Canuti trying to take the lead away from Dave Wright. And he will, coming down into turns 1 and 2. Wright's going to surrender the lead. Brian Canuti up into the 1st position, not the 2nd position, but the 1st position as they come off of turn number 2. Here comes Stephen Black taking a look down underneath Colin Willems, trying to take over that 3rd position, but Willems able to hold tight up on that high side. Just as I suspected, Stephen Black in dirty air for the first time. Just not able to get a handle on that truck as well as he was when he was able to be out there out in front by himself. Now he's got a little bit of a run here on Colin Willems as he's going to try to clear that 17 machine, but here comes Colin fighting back on the high side. This is a battle for the 3rd position. This is what Dave Wright wants to see in his mirror right now. Those two battling side by side. It's going to allow him to run his line and pull away a little bit, but Stephen Black is able to clear the 17 of Colin Willems, and he's going to set his sights on the 84 of Dave Wright. Meanwhile, Brian Canuti starting to pull away, and caution. Caution is out on the track. It looks like it is for the 43 of David Hartney. And that is going to bring up our first wreckage rewind of the night. While we take a look to see exactly what happened to the driver of the 43. Oh, just lost it by himself coming off of turn number 4. Joe Wright does a good job staying up and out of the way. Looks like it was just a single car spin. Let's ride along here with Joe Wright so we can see in real time exactly what he saw. Good job just staying out of the way and getting out of the way and keeping that truck, or staying away from the spinning truck, I should say. How about this? Brian Canuti coming down pit road. Eddie Morris also coming down pit road. Joe Wright, oh, almost misses pit road, almost catches the barrels. Devin Butchino, Dominic Previtt, excuse me. Joe Tardif, all is coming down pit road. Obviously, David Hartney is going to come down pit road. So that's going to shake things up a little bit. It's pronounced Yalin Wilkes. Got it. Talking about Colin Willems out there. I'm sure that's who he's making the comment on right there is Colin Willems. He's running back in the 3rd spot. It looks like when we cross the line this time, the lights on the pace car will be shutting off. We'll go back to green flag racing. Again, don't forget to join us tomorrow night for the Dev Sports Cards Xfinity Series as they take on Bristol Motor Speedway. That's going to be an exciting one. Short track racing at its finest at Bristol Motor Speedway. Thursday night, we'll have our Thunderstruck Series. Sunday night, we'll be bringing back the INSS. Monday night, Thunderstruck. Tuesday night, Truck Doubleheader with the Doghouse Racing League and the Morris Customs Truck Series. So lots of racing as the lights on the pace car are still on. Looks like we're going to go at least one more lap here. More drivers coming down pit road. We see Jeffrey Belk on pit road, David Hartney, Eddie Morris, Devin Buccino coming back down for fuel. Looks like Dave Wright is going to choose the high lane again on this restart, putting Stephen Black down on the bottom. I don't know if you really want Stephen Black on the bottom. In fact, I don't really know if you want Stephen Black on the front row with you. Colin Williams is going to restart in the third spot, putting Brian Canuti. Well, Canuti made his way back down pit road, so the field, again, coming down pit road to top off one more time. Lights on the pace car are off. You see Brian Merle Jr. back on track. Looks like he's quite a few laps down. Brian Merle Jr. 8 laps down. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, though, able to get almost back onto the lead lap. He is currently being shown 1 down, so these cautions working into his favor, able to get 2 of his laps back. It looks like Dave Wright is going to be the only driver up on the high side as the pace car peels off onto pit road. Green flag is back in the air. Dave Wright's going to do everything he can to try to keep that 18 of Stephen Black behind him as they go down into turns 1 and 2. Black, though, able to hug that yellow line better than anybody else here tonight. But Colin Williams looking up to the high side as they come through turns 3 and 4, and Black on the low side. It looks like he's going to be able to power by that 84. And as I say that, Dave Wright able to stay out in front for the time being. So Stephen Black's going to tuck in line. He's going to see if he can find a way around that 84. But right now, that 84 is mounting quite a bit of a challenge to the 18 machine. Now Stephen Black is looking back down to the inside. But not able to get around the 84 of David Wright. Still side by side for the lead. David Wright up on the high side. He's able to use that high lane momentum to stay out in front of Stephen Black for the time being. Black's going to kind of ride along here behind David Wright. See if he can force Dave into either a mistake or for him to wear out his tires here to allow him to get back around and into the lead. Looks like Dave Hartney on the pit road once again. Looks like he's getting tires and fuel. Might be, looks like he might have gotten back into the wall yet again. Stephen Black continues to run right there behind that 84 machine, just not quite close enough to make anything happen. Side by side off of turn number 4. Again, D. Wright able to hold on for the time being. Black down to the inside yet again. Just not quite close enough to make it happen. So Dave Wright looks so good through turns 3 and 4 as you see Stephen Black gets the run off of turn number 2, but just not able to make that happen. Right along with D. Wright, you can see exactly what he's seeing here. Down into turns 1 and 2. And what this is actually forcing Dave Wright's doing is he's forcing Stephen Black to use up his tires a little bit more than Stephen wants to right now. Run that low line is eating up those tires of that 18 machine. As you see Brian Merle Jr. on much fresher tires, trying to work his way up here to try to get on, or at least one of his laps back. Must be frustrating for Stephen Black, who was able to get out to almost a 5-second lead earlier in the race. Now he's battling with the 84 of David Wright. David Wright is doing a great job of holding that 18 machine at bay. A little further back, you can see Jeffrey Belk starting to run down Brian Canuti, trying to get back into the 15th position, or the 5th position, excuse me. Well, back up front, David Wright and Stephen Black continue to battle at it. Right along here with Stephen Black, see exactly what he's seeing. You can see he's just, that dirty air is just really affecting this 18 machine as he makes his way through turns 1 and 2. He's able to get a bit of a run here on Dave Wright. One time he just kind of stood in line, wasn't able to make anything happen. Get down into turns 3 and 4, and Stephen Black's now moved up the track quite a bit. He was running the yellow line, now he's running the first set of hash marks. Trying to keep that momentum up off the corner with a little bit of speed. But not tearing up the tires too much as he makes his way off of turn number 2 and just hanging right there behind the 84. Battle right here for the 4th position, Brian Canuti, Devin Buccino, side by side. Again, we're seeing that high lane really have the momentum up off the corner. It's just so tough to pass here at Iowa. We're seeing that both with this battle here and the battle between Stephen Black and David Wright. Well, 50 to go when they cross the line that time. Drivers will have to pit one more time. And green flag pit stops are tough here at Iowa as well because of just how sharp the turn is from the racetrack on the pit road. And there's that access road off as you come off of the pits as well. Take a look at the pit entrance here. You see there's a bit of an access road right there as well, and it's really easy to mistake your pit entrance and go down that as well. We've seen that a couple times in a couple different leagues. And Devin Butchino is able to clear the 40 of Brian Canuti. As I say that, here comes Canuti battling back on the inside. And Devin Butchino is going to clear the 40, so move the 68 solidly up into the 4th position. And now Devin's going to try to run down the 17 of Colin Willems, who's running right there with the 13 of Brian Merle Jr. Jr. is a couple laps down. As I mentioned, he is 8 laps down. But an impressive run for Dave Wright. It's led since the drop of the green flag for the 2nd stage. And he's been able to keep Stephen Black at bay pretty well. But could Stephen Black also be playing possum here? Could he be saving his stuff to mount a charge here towards the end of the stage? Black tried to take a run down to the inside here. This is the closest that Black's been all race long. They're side by side down into turn number 1, and Black is going to clear the 84 of Dave Wright. No, Dave's going to fight back up on the high side. They're still side by side. But Stephen Black is going to clear down into turn number 3, and Dave Wright's going to try to stay right there with that 18 machine. If he can't make another run at it here to get his first career SCSRA win. Meanwhile, Brian Canuti still stocking the 68 of Devin Butchino. Able to get the run off of turn number 2, but Butch able to outbrake him into turn number 3. And again, it's just another one of those things where both drivers are pretty even on different parts of the track. Which makes passing extremely difficult. D Wright is staying right there with the 18 of Stephen Black. As they cross the line, just 40 laps to go. And Brian Canuti and Devin Butchino are both down on pit road. So Butch came down a lap earlier. Brian Canuti on pit road now. We knew they were going to have to pit one more time. Looks like Stephen Black is making his way down on the pit road this time. Right behind him, Colin Willems, also on pit road. It's going to give the lead back to David Wright. Now, if you're David Wright, do you stay out and try to run this as long as you can? hope for a caution? Or do you come down pit road because you're going to be giving up a ton of time to the leaders who are going to be on fresher tires? Dave Wright passes pit road yet again. How about Joe Tardif again? Another great run tonight. Currently in the second position as pit stops are underway. Right in front of Eddie Morris and Jeffrey Belk. As they run right now, I think Dave Wright is digging himself a bit of a hole right now, staying out as long as he had. I think if he would have had any chance to try to win this race, he would have came down pit road within a lap or two of Stephen Black. As they run right now, last time by, Dave Wright ran a 24.90. Stephen Black ran a 23.63. So about a second and a half difference on fresh tires. And as the laps click off, that is more ground to Stephen Black that Dave Wright is losing. Eddie Morris battling here with Joe Tardif for what will be the second spot before pit stops. See Tardif peeling off down onto pit road. Here we go. We're seeing just the difference in speed that Stephen Black and Colin Willems have off these drivers that have stayed out. Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle there out of the 17 of Willems. But he's able to keep it going straight. So the entire pit road time is about 40 seconds. Right now, Stephen Black is behind David Wright by 31 seconds. So if David Wright was to come down pit road, he would be about 10 seconds behind what will eventually be your leader when everybody comes around in pits. Unless the caution was to come out relatively soon, that would trap Stephen Black, Colin Willems, Devin Butchino, Brian Cadee all a lap down. As they run, Dave Wright, Eddie Morris, Jeffrey Belk, Joe Wright, they're all hoping for a caution to come out. Put them all in a position to win this race. But as they run right now, the drivers on fresh tires are just so much quicker. As I mentioned before, almost 2 seconds a lap quicker now. So next time by, we'll have just 25 laps to go. No issues for Joe Tardif. Off track. Able to gather it up. Let's see if we can see what happened. to the driver of the 48. It looks like he almost caught the wall, spun it down through the grass. Fortunately, he was able to get it off the track, so no caution. Although that's the caution that Dave Wright was really hoping for. Unfortunately, it just was not meant to be. As Dave Wright, excuse me, is going around the 39 of Dominic Privet. And look who's right behind him. That's the 18 of Stephen Black. Stephen Black coming to unlap himself here. And you can see just the speed difference on these fresh tires. You're not going to see it on the straightaway, but as they go through the corner, just look how much easier Stephen Black is able to get around Dave Wright into the corner. And fortunately, I think that is going to deny David Wright of any chance of winning here tonight. Unless David Wright has more than 22 laps of fuel left in the tank. That could be his only hope. We'll ride along with Dave Wright here, see if he's trying to save any fuel. Like he's trying to save any fuel at all, so we'll have to see how this works out for the driver of the 84. Eddie Morris, Jeffrey Belk battling for the second spot. Here's a couple drivers who were down on pit road during that most recent caution. And that's the other thing. Dave Wright was back last on pit road on lap 57. Jeffrey Belk, Eddie Morris here are back last on pit road on laps 70. So topping off, that's quite a bit more fuel that these drivers have in the tank that David Wright does not. Brian Canuti, Devin Butchino continuing the battle out on track. Butch in the 7th position, Nudie back in 8th. Nudie almost giving the bumper there as he's going to dive down to the inside of Devin Butchino. And David Wright has now made his way down on the pit road. As this battle right here continues. Butchino is able to stay out in front of Brian Canuti. Now, can David Wright get off of pit road, keep and run down Stephen Black to try to get this win? Right now, David Wright's back in the 8th position. Black is in 4th. And Dave Wright is almost 20 seconds behind Stephen Black. But we do know that those tires do make a huge difference, so we'll see. It could come down to the tires here. As Jeffrey Belk now is your leader. Also, does Jeffrey Belk have enough fuel in the tank to make it to the end? Hitting under that caution, we'll have to ride along with him, see if he's trying to save any bit of fuel. There it is. You hear him shutting that truck off in the corner, trying to save as much fuel as he can. The truck can't burn fuel when it's shut off. Eddie Morris back in the 2nd position, see if he's doing the same thing. Now Morris is just letting off a little earlier, getting back on the throttle a little later. Both of them saving fuel, trying to make it to the end here with 14 laps to go. Stephen Black currently 10 seconds behind Eddie Morris here as Eddie makes his way around the 47 of Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence. You see Dave Wright on those fresh tires, pushing him as hard as he can to get himself back up to Stephen Black. The interval between Stephen Black and David Wright see if I can find that for you. Oh, it's trying to pull up the wrong right here. There we go. That gap is 14 seconds. And closing quickly with just 9 laps to go. You see the difference in speed between these two drivers, and unless Jeffrey Belk, Eddie Morris, and Joe Wright have enough fuel in the tank, this will be the battle for the lead right here. These two have been the fastest two drivers all night long. So back up front, Jeffrey Belk continues to lead over Eddie Morris, pulling away from Eddie Morris. I think Morris is coming down the pit road. He had to pit, so Eddie Morris was not able to save enough fuel. See Joe Wright has Stephen Black right behind him on those fresher tires. Same with Colin Williams running back in the 4th spot. Can Jeffrey Belk hold on for 5 more laps to get the win here tonight at Iowa? You can hear that truck shut off through the corner as he's trying to do everything he can to save as much fuel as possible. Stephen Black, Colin Williams making their way around Joe Wright. As Williams gives Black a little bit of a push down through the corner. Or down the straightaway, excuse me. So Stephen Black now up in the 2nd, Colin Williams in the 3rd. There's not going to be enough time for David Wright to get back up to these drivers. But is there enough time for Stephen Black to run down Jeffrey Belk? Last time by, Jeffrey Belk ran a 25:30. Stephen Black just ran a 25:09 as he's battling with Colin Williams. So this is exactly what Jeffrey Belk wants to see in his mirror, is these two battling hard, because that's going to allow Belk to pretty much shut the car off wherever he wants. 3 laps to go. Make it 2 laps to go for Jeffrey Belk. Can he hold on and steal the win here tonight? He's got an 8-second gap over 2nd place Stephen Black. And you hear just how early Belk is shutting that truck off. Off of turn number 4, across the stripe, 1 lap to go. You better believe he's going to try to coast that truck for as long as he can. He sees that interval behind him. He can pretty much shut it off and coast to the line here. Through turns 3 and 4 to the checkered flag. Jeffrey Belk gets the win here at Iowa. Stephen Black, Colin Willems battling for this final spot, or for the second position. Willems tries to get around, but Stephen Black is going to barely hold on to P2. Colin Willems comes home in 3rd. Joe Wright bringing home in 4th, and Dave Wright brings the truck home with a top 5. How about Jeffrey Belk holding off with enough fuel in the tank to get the win here tonight? What a wild way to win here on fuel mileage as he parks it here on the start-finish line so he can get his picture taken. I don't think Stephen Black knew to get to the start-finish line for the picture. But how about that? I don't think Jeffrey Belk has enough fuel in the tank to even burn out here. So yep, just looks like Stephen Black has officially jumped out of his truck here as we get ready to talk to our top 3. Starting with our 3rd place finisher, the driver of the 17, Colin Willems. Colin, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I got you, Josh.
Man, great run for you here tonight, coming home 3rd, battling with Stephen Black there right at the end. Almost had him there coming across the line, but it looks like you were just a little bit short there. But great run for you here tonight. Talk about those last few laps there, battling with Stephen Black.
Oh, it felt like the good old days there for a while there, battling with Steven. But no, it was nice to have him back tonight. Hopefully he sticks around for a bit. That was a lot of fun. I kind of tried to stick to his strategy. After the green flag stop, I saw a lot of people pit trying to stretch it, and it looks like Belk was able to pull it off. So happy for him. But pitted with Steven. I had a window between lap 100, 105, and it looked like he came in 103 or something like that. So I just came in with him. Stayed with him for the most part, and then once he caught up to Joe, then the race is on between me and Steven, and he had some pretty aggressive blocks, and I was prepared to give him the bumper there. I gave him a little shot. I'm surprised I got a 4X out of it, which sucks. It takes my 0X away, but that was fun racing with him again.
Well, overall, a great run. Very few cautions here tonight, as we've come to see lately in the SCSRA. But at a track like Iowa, where it's so slick off of turn number 4 and really kind of eats tires up a little bit, those bumps in turns 1 and 2, were you kind of surprised that there was only one caution here tonight?
No, not really with the group we have. I mean, everybody's pretty tame and mild compared to previous seasons where a lot of people are realizing that you can't win it on the first lap or the first 50 laps. So, no, I wouldn't say I'm surprised. I expect that out of this group that we have now.
Well, again, great run here tonight, coming home in 3rd. Before I let you go, Colin, anyone you want to thank? Any shouts you got to give here tonight?
No, I got to give a shout out to my wife, Cassie, as always. You, Josh, up in the booth, doing a great job. Wasted wages. I can't remember my team name. I want to give a shout out to Jeffrey Belk. Ran a great race. Also give a shout out to D Wright, man. Him and I battled coming to the stage there. That was a blast running with him. All the admins, everybody involved, and looking forward to Chicagoland. It looks like next week.
Also had an interesting chat come across the chat here. I just want to ask, why is it pronounced Yalin Wilkes?
I take it Ian was watching.
He said, do better. That was his comments tonight.
I tried. No, it's in reference to, I can't remember the name of the movie, but anyway, thanks Yash for the soft J, right? So
the soft J, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Well, again, congrats, and we'll talk to you again soon. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thanks, Josh. Oh yeah, Bristol. Bristol's not been kind to me since iOS days, so let's see how it goes.
Have a great night.
You too.
So that was your third place finisher, Colin Willems. Let's see if we can dial up our second place finisher, the 18 of Stephen Black. Steven, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I got you, Josh.
Man, coming home second place tonight. I mean, good finish for you. Great way to come back into the series. You were battling with Colin Willems there at the end. You were battling with David Wright there for a good portion of that second stage as well. I would ask you in the coming to the at the stage there if Dirty Air was going to play any factor here tonight, and it looks like you might have had a little bit of Dirty Air playing that factor. Is that what it was, or just running behind people, or were you trying to save your stuff for the end of the stage there?
I was trying to save a little bit. I think Dave kind of fell off a little. Maybe not much, but I was able to get around him. The high side in 3 and 4 was really good, and when Colin started catching me at the end, I kind of took that line because I felt like it gave more momentum. But I was also trying to get around Joe as well to get in the top 3. But yeah, it was a good fun battle between me and Colin at the end there, and then Eddie came out of nowhere. I don't know if he was a lap down or if that was for position, but I look in my mirror and there's a truck with a number 8 on it, so that was kind of terrifying.
Nah, Eddie was actually a lap down. He had to pit because he was almost out of fuel. But were you kind of surprised that Belk was able to stretch his fuel as long as he did? I know he came in last on lap 69, so he was able to top off, but he was able to stretch it there to. Were you kind of surprised he had that much in the tank at the end?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that he had that much left in the tank to run 70 more laps and then do burnouts at the end, so that's kind of surprising. Because from what I was told, it was about 61 laps on a full tank. So I don't know. It is what it is. I had a lot of fun tonight, and a lot of fun battling with Dave and Colin. I didn't get to race with my boy Eddie. I must have skipped too many leg days or something, but he didn't give me that opportunity tonight. But hopefully, I'll see him next week.
Awesome, man. Are you going to be running the truck series the rest of the way out? Or are you going to be running Xfinity as well?
I don't know about Xfinity. I think the whole reason I kind of came. I I've been doing other things. Let's just say that. But we'll see. Maybe next week I'll come back and run another one. So.
Well, fair enough. Well, next week the trucks come to Chicagoland, so hopefully we'll see you again next week. Before we let you go, though, Steve, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to Brian Nudie and shout out to Eddie Morris in the gym that I skipped leg days at. And shout out to Dustin Dean. I saw that he also made a return to the Discord.
Yeah, he's been running back with us on
Yes.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Yes, he needs to show back up. I was hoping he'd be here tonight, but he wasn't. So.
Well, we look forward to your return again next week at Chicagoland, and glad to have you back, and good luck the rest of the season out.
Yep, thank you.
So that was your second place finisher, Stephen Black. Let's bring in your winner here tonight, the driver of the 54 machine, Jeffrey Belk. Jeff, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, hello there.
Man, what a wild night for you. You were trying to stay right there with Stephen Black for the majority of that first run. Looks like you might have burned your tires off just a little bit too much there. Able to save enough fuel at the end to get it done. We rode on along with you, rode on your board, heard you shutting that truck off. Were you surprised that you were able to save that much fuel there at the end?
Oh, definitely. And that first round, I wasn't even thinking about trying to keep up with Steven. It just felt good. And then all of a sudden it didn't feel good. And yeah, tires were dead. But Devin got by me right there coming to the stage caution. And we were just trying to figure out any strategy we could pull off. And basically from that last restart, just clutched in every single corner, just trying to squeeze as much out of it as possible. And honestly, didn't expect to be here having this conversation with you right now. Was expected maybe 5th or 6th, but trying to just stay somewhere ahead of Devin for those points.
For sure, and this is going to put you with Devin finishing back in 6th. This is going to put you solidly up into the lead here in the points. And coming down to Chicagoland, how much of points racing are you going to be doing? As you know, obviously winning the regular season is important to get the most playoff points there at the end. But what's your expectations next week at Chicagoland?
Well, from myself and Devin and Eddie, I expect us to be racing real hard against each other just because it's the last race, everything's on the line. But outside of that, I'm not going to be pushing like normal because main goal is to keep the car in one piece and just try to finish ahead of those two, honestly.
Well, a great run for you here tonight, getting the win. Just amazing fuel savings there at the end to put yourself in a position to get the win here tonight. Before we let you go, though, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight, Jeff?
Yeah, always Dirtbag Clothing Company. Piglet Gear with their stomp pads for snowboarding. W Energy. All of the teammates over at Intensity DVC Sim Racing, Intensity Broadcasting for putting on such great production work week in, week out, and everyone out there for tuning in.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the win. I look forward to tomorrow night at Bristol, and good luck the rest of the season out. We look forward to seeing what you can do.
Thank you.
So there's your winner, Jeffrey Belk, here tonight at Iowa. Of course, we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. We do appreciate you joining us here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Of course, we want to thank all of our great partners here tonight, including Race EPI for all your iRacing setup needs and coaching. IntensityBroadcasting.com for all your Intensity swag. Of course, check out The Butt Kicker for all your racing haptic needs. And of course, check out iRacing, which brings this platform to you so we can race week in and week out. If you're not a follower of iRacing, they've made some pretty exciting announcements on some new cars and tracks coming out. So you can head over to iRacing.com and check that out as well. Of course, thank you to everybody who joined us here tonight. Of course, as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over